Ready?
It's time.
Alrighty.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Good afternoon. This is Bible reporting from ministry use. And remember, and this is the caveat I'll say every single time, God is the hero in the Bible. Everyone else, no matter how good or how bad they are just supporting actors. That's it. So what you got for us?
My name. Alright. My name is Makenna and I am sharing the story of Judas Maccabeus.
Okay. In a sentence. Tell me about him.
Judas Maccabeus was a temple priest who led an uprising and kicked out the Assyrian Empire for almost 3 years.
Wow. Sounds like an interesting story. Most people have not heard about it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they haven't.
Alright.
So where'd you get your information?
I got it from the Apocrypha, Wikipedia, and a book about who is who in the Bible.
Can you show them the book?
Who is who in the Bible?
It's a good book. It really is, actually. Okay, what years was Judas Maccabee active?
166 to 161 BC.
BC?
Before Christ.
Okay, this was 150, 165 years before Jesus was born.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yes.
And give me his bio. Give me his biography. Tell me about him a little bit.
All right. So, Judas's dad, Maccabeus, was a priest in Jerusalem during the Assyrian occupation of Israel between the time of the Babylonian and the Greek Empire and the Roman Empire. Someone was always occupying Israel.
Yeah, Israel didn't get to be a country on its own very much, did it?
No.
And so like the Babylonians owned it, the Greeks owned it, and then later on the Romans owned it. But in this middle time, the Assyrians owned it.
Yeah.
They basically said, give us taxes or we'll give you death.
Pretty much.
And so it wasn't pretty happy, was it? So that's what was going on. And so what books of the Bible actually did you get this story from?
They're not from the Bible.
What does this is?
They're from the 1 and 2 Maccabees.
The first and second Maccabees.
The first and second Maccabees.
What is that?
It's not in the Bible, but it is one of 12 history books between the time of the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Yeah, they call that the Apocrypha, right?
Yep.
We don't call it part of our Bible. The Jewish people don't call it part of their Bible. You know who does?
No.
The Catholics.
The Catholics are.
Yeah. They're basically history books, and there's nothing wrong with them. There really isn't. They're good books. And it really sets up what was going on in the years leading up to the birth of Jesus. So I'm glad you're doing this one. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
That's important. So, what's going on in the world as this story plays out?
Let's see here. Israel was used to being occupied. It had been for hundreds of years. The Syrian king named Antiochus led his soldiers to desecrate the temple. They had killed animals on to sacrifice to Zeus on the altar.
On the altar in the temple.
Yeah.
I bet you there were some very angry Jewish people. It's like if somebody came in and started doing awful things on our altar, I'd just be heartbroken.
Be nasty.
It would be nasty, yeah. And the state was doing this. The government, the Assyrian Empire was doing this.
Yeah. That's
just nasty. And so it led to something, didn't it?
Yes.
So what happened next? Tell us in your own words.
All right. Until Judas Iscariot, the disciple who betrayed Jesus. Judas was a strong name. In 166, Judas and a small company of soldiers killed a visiting Syrian general using guerrilla tactics.
He was a priest.
Yeah.
A warrior priest. Crazy. Then what happened?
When Antiochus sent 6,000 soldiers with 2 generals to put down the rebellion, they made tactical mistakes.
They did. What were the tactical mistakes?
They took most of the soldiers to scout, and Judas and his men destroyed the base camp, but not a lot of people were left there, but all of the supplies and ammo were now gone.
And so what happens is when everybody came back from their scouting missions, they had no more food, they had no more extra ammo.
Yeah, and then Antiochus died, and his son Antiochus came down about 8...
Okay, time out. Antiochus died, and then Antiochus. This isn't some sort of reincarnation thing. What are you talking about, lady?
The Antiochus, the son, was Antiochus the Fourth.
And his dad was?
Antiochus III.
Oh, I bet you his grandpa was Antiochus the second. Okay, Antiochus died. His son takes over, and what does his son do?
Antiochus the son came down about 18 months later with 100,000 men and 20,000 chariots of war elephants.
And war elephants. That would be so cool.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. I'd be scared. I don't think Judas Maccabee had a whole lot of war elephants at his disposal, or 100,000 soldiers, did he?
Judas's younger brother, named Eleazar, to show his leadership, ran into the line and pushed his sword into the elephant, killing it. Problem is that the elephant landed on him and he died too.
That's a horrible. It's a horrible story.
Yeah.
But they won the battle.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. Who won?
The Israel army surrendered, but the country was again allowed religious freedom.
And that was important.
Yeah.
That was important. And so do you have a Bible verse or an apocrypha verse? Because the apocrypha is numbered with the same chapter and verse methodology as everything else. What you got?
Maccabees chapter 4, 49-53. At the very season and on the very day that the Syrians had profaned it, the temple was dedicated with songs and harps and lutes and cymbals. All of the people fell on their faces and worshipped and blessed the heaven, who had prospered them. So they celebrated the dedication of the altar for 8 days and joyfully offered burnt offerings. They offered a sacrifice of well-being and a thanksgiving offering.
That's a really cool verse. Now, why does it pass the "why do I care about it" test today? I mean, it's a really cool story and it's a nice history story. But how does it come into today?
This is where the Hanukkah, the Jewish 8-day festival of lights, got its start.
Cool. And Hanukkah generally happens about the same time as Christmas, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The festival of dedication. Very cool.
Yeah.
I give you 2 thumbs up. Nice job.
Thank you. Oh, well, there is one more little twisteroo, though.
What's that?
Maccabee, the Hebrew name, translates into hammer.
So, Judas, the hammer.
Pretty much.
Like an all-star wrestling priest. I love it.